mate.
What the hell was that crap?
Yeah!
You are a bloody disgrace. Go to hell, wanker.
Yo!
You big-head wankers. I'm not done yet, mate. Not by a long shot.
Come on then!
This is just getting started.
Get over here! Let's do this!
You shouldn't even gotten out of bed.
Oh, I'm gonna beat you so hard you'll have a twitch!
Yeah, come get some, you frickin' wuss!
Get on then, mate! Yeah!
I like Overwatch. Ever since Overwatch 2's launch, and really before that, there has been a series of hate and dislike towards the game and its studio, and while with the latter being somewhat true and understandable, I genuinely think that the Overwatch game itself and the sense that it brings is worth more than we give it. Oh dear. It is indeed due to these immense similarities and the semi-consistent gameplay style that the fast-paced FPS genre remains embedded and the muscle memory stays intact, essentially allowing you to hockey ball in between the two games and not have to relearn everything. And whilst I do prefer the second fortified team, Watched Over does have its ups that the former lacks. When you are killed, in Overwatch, you are presented with a semi-decent ragdoll, followed by a kill cam of how you met your end. This kill cam allows for you to identify what hero attacked, what ability or weapon they used, what positioning and other stats leading up to your death. This can be really helpful, especially for newer players, to gain the information necessary on how to counter the occurrence for next time. Then you have the TF2's freeze cam. On death, you get some of the greatest ragdolls ever seen in video game history, followed by a freeze cam of the acted class, the weapon used, and a few other bits and bobs, requiring you to have an entire thought chain just to recreate what Overwatch can do. However, respawn times are not consistent and can last eternity. Another XL for Overwatch. Thanks to the Overwatch's endorsements and POTG system, your efforts seem to receive more recognition from your team than in TF2. Due probably to the smaller and more competitive team sizes, they appear to be more reflecting and appreciated of their fellow team members. However, this point can be negated when your team actually has working microphones.
Nicely done there, Cat. Percy, beautiful work, blue team.
Thanks, I never won on this map.
With TF2 though, I prefer the action-packed 12 per team chaos of pubs over the strategies of a more competitive 6v6, or in this case 5v5, playstyle. In short, I wish to gain overruling ownership over the TF2 and Overwatch franchises. The easiest way to do this is to simply wait them out until they die, which I've planned for at least 12 years from now, then purchase company holdership. Once I have secured them, the standard game company stuff will look something like this. TF2 will have a bot reduction crisis, reported will be put under surveillance if confirmed the host device, somehow, is permanently banned, account archived in an account dump to keep the inventory without deleting it, and if a mistake was somehow made, it can be retrieved. To start, the dev teams will come together to create a game mode where the Team Fortress 2 mercenaries battle against the Overwatch agents on a roster of maps and game modes pulled from both games. And after some tweaking of Overwatch, will be ran on their servers. Of course, a direct battle is all but guaranteed to be pulled in the Overwatch direction, thus major balancements are needed. Keep in mind these ideas are not finalised, as we have 12 years to refine them, but are rather a summary rundown, and I'm always open for collaboration and feedback. And as a side note, the two games will be kept apart and their cores will remain intact. To start, when joining a fresh game, you are randomly assigned to either Overwatch or TF2 in the same sense that you are assigned to red or blue. If you are put onto TF2's side, your team colour will be based on whether you are attacking or defending. This means that payload maps have 4 rounds, 2 of which you're attacking and 2 of which you are defending. The styles, such as explosions, announcers and UI, are all independent from the maps, but each side has their own style. Next, the Overwatch heroes will have ammo limits, as opposed to infinite, to enforce the use of ammo packs compatibility, which will be then added to the Overwatch maps. Moving on to the more balancing stuff, all of the Overwatch heroes' health and damage figures are to be divided by 1.6, explained in Toofdy's TF2 vs Overwatch series, and so the 200 HP baseline becomes 125. Most of the domination lines can be reused. Overwatch, if not already, will be able to dominate an enemy. Voice lines and character interactions will be updated to be compatible with the crossover characters. My key concerns for balancements are based around the Overwatch's various abilities, from generating shields to the faster charging times, such as Widow's rifle charge rate. And they themselves can be balanced in their own ways, such as longer cooldowns and capping the number of barriers per team. And so apart from the odd trivia like Spy's sapping and the ult's percentage reset on death like the Uber charge, the game senses will be kept relatively the same from the core games, such as random crits exclusive to the TF2 side. Also, TF2 will be getting their 10th playable class, Saxton Hale from Manco. If you have not already, go watch my life plan, in which I give a brief rundown of the companies mentioned here. And this is just a brief rundown, mind you, and isn't elaborated into a story much. Greyman's successor lives through the power of Gemricin, the aging reduction medication powered by Australium, an upgrade from their life-extending machine, and follows in her father's footsteps. Olivia, Greyman's daughter and successor, goes on to take the world with her robot army in the year 2130, almost 106 years from current date. To put it into perspective, in 106 years I would be about 123 years old. But with MSS Pharmaceuticals' Gemricin, my physical would only act as about 2.6 times younger at about 46. And due to expenses, Gemricin is not marketable for the general public. TasCorp is the successor of Manco. Manco delivered the mercenaries with weapons. One of TasCorp's side purposes is delivering technologies and funding the Overwatch Foundation as a whole. Overwatch's more mythical technologies, such as rewinding time, flight and resurrection, are all powered by Australium and its counterpart, crystallized Australium, unless otherwise explained by the officials. The Overwatch hero team is created to counter man's war, and so Overwatch is TF2's successor, hence the similarities. After Two Fort's collapse, the respawn machine was destroyed. Manco collapsed, and the blueprints for the respawn machine were locked in a forgotten vault. TasCorp, much later, raids the Manco ruins for information to assist with technological developments, and stumble across this vault. In short, we find the respawn machine blueprints and documents on locations of secret even to the administrator, Australium-rich pockets. This Australium is then mined and refined by Picree Mining Industry, who updated their facilities to handle the new mineral, allowing TasCorp to redevelop the respawn machine with help of Australium. In TF2, the mercenaries had to be respawn compatible, but in the new respawn machine, all heroes' information, genetics-wise, were programmed into the machine, again not mass-produced due to politics and great expenses, allowing for them to respawn with a consistent respawn gap. Man gets a hold of the respawn machine's blueprints through her spy agents, recreating it, and brings back the TF2 mercenaries. The mercenaries are brainwashed, having their memories altered to assist, though not necessarily directly side by side, her robots. If a series is dying, in this case Overwatch's current path, then it should either go out with a bang and have one heck of a finale, or it should be announced that it is just going to be left to die.
Nah, I say let it die. Let it die, let it die. Let it shrivel up and come on, who's with me, huh?
Not dragged on to be globally panned, just to squeeze out any last profits, which occurs in almost every franchise. I mean, look at this. What is this? So whether it be I or another, who united the Team Fortress 2 series and the Overwatch franchise without a lust by greed, their in-universe and real-world franchises would generate immense potential, shining quality life into the series once more.
Objective A captured. Escort the payload.
Feel free to join me.
Double, triple kill.